Isupk.
respect the sanctity of human life. We believe that without the explicit
Today, the Supreme Court of the United States expressly took away a constitutional right from the American people that it had already recognized. They didn't limit it, they simply took it away. That's never been done to a right so important to so many Americans. But they did it. It's a sad day for the court and for the country.
Hey, Shalom, Yashagatam.
Shalom, Yabashin Yashabaratam.
All right.
Ya va a ser, baratata. Saludos,
Ya va a ser,
capitán.
baratata.
Ahorita voy a poner el técnico con la cámara, estoy bregando con eso.
Yeah, ni se te entiende muy bien.
Que tengo problemas
Ahí
técnicos.
te escucho, pero no con claridad. All right.
All right.
Let's see what's happening here. Un breakcito. I check all my other areas. All right. Vamos a darle breakcito a la gente que intenta a este momento.
Kadawakam.
Twitter, let's see, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Ok, hoy clase de historia. Esperamos que lleguen los demás. Mientras tanto, hay preguntas. Dale. Shalom, espérate. Shalom, ya se mata Basham, ya la hermana Dalia. Dale, cuatro.
Salakia, yo quería saber if I could get some precepts on repentance.
Okay, is there something specific?
Well, but I just wanted to fill up my repentance precept page.
All right, hold on. Let me see what I got on my. I think I should have something saved up on my laptop. Give me a break.
Kadawakam.
Let me see. Hold on. And while y'all waiting, just see if you can share this stream with other people too. You know, while I pull something up for you. Just bear with me. And no down. I got my book down here. If not, I'm going to go to my drive. I usually try to keep my my precept book handy. I know definitely I got it on my phone. That's not one of my documents.
Salakia out of one. Facebook had blocked me for a month.
Okay, all right. You if you got another outlet, then you can also share it there. You know. Matter of fact, just to get some more people, I am going to log into my TikTok as well and do a live from there as well. Here we go. Let me put on my effects. Yeah, leave it like that. All right. All right, so instead of wasting time there, let me just let me see. Bear with me. First Corinthians. Let's go to First Corinthians 3rd chapter. Hold on, somebody trying to get up in there. The young man in Puerto Rico, Shalom, Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shabarakatha.
Shalom, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
All right, Most High Christ. See, he learned. That's what's up. Parshadah Shalom, Yahweh Shema Arthur Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. So, te vamos primer de Corintios, or First Corinthians, right? Let's see, third chapter, right? 3, and let me see where we can start at. Let me see something. Vladimir Mirim Paler wants me to explain Isaiah 19 from the 23rd verse to the 25th verse. Well, what in particular you want me to explain from there? Nicaragua, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shagata. All right. Your microphone good, Nicaragua?
Con one con.
All right.
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you good. I hear you
Con.
good. I hear you very well. Let me see something. Let me see something. You got First Corinthians?
Carbon Con.
All right. All right, let's go there real quick. Go start 3 and 1. 3 and 1.
Carbon Con.
3 and 1, okay?
Con.
Primero Corinthians
Corintios.
o Corintios
Ajá, Corintios. Ajá, go ahead.
3, versículo 1. De manera que yo, hermanos, no pude hablarlos como a espirituales, sino como carnales, como a niños en Cristo.
Ajá. Como a qué? Dice como, hold on. What happened here?
Yes.
Hold on, bear with me. What the hell?
Carbon Con.
Here we go. Primero de Corintios 3. Como, ¿verdad? De manera que yo, hermanos, no pude hablarlos como a espirituales, sino como carnales, como a niños en Cristo, ¿verdad? Continúa.
Carbon Con, versículo 2. O se di a beber leche y no vianda, porque aún no eres capaces, ni sois capaz todavía.
Ok, so lo que Pablo está enseñando a estos hermanos, que él no vino él no vino como espíritu, sino como alguien de carne, ¿verdad? Pero para enseñar que enseñar la verdad, él está en Corintio. En Corintio habían israelitas que vivían ahí. Corintio era una de esas provincias o islas en el imperio griego, ¿ok? Romano, porque obviamente Roma conquistó muchas de esas áreas. Dice en el segundo versículo, os di de beber leche. ¿Por qué él dijo de beber leche? No es literal leche, pero ¿por qué él utilizó esa palabra? Os di de beber leche.
Porque él le quiere enseñar a alguien como sea como un bebé.
Ok, pero ¿por qué él utiliza metafóricamente, no carnalmente, sino metafóricamente en este aspecto, comparando como bebé bebiendo leche?
Porque si él le dice tanto, la persona no lo va a coger.
Ok, cuando tú dices tanto, ¿en qué tú te refieres?
En como darle mucho para comer, pero sabiendo que él no va a terminar toda la comida.
¿Qué comida?
Las palabras,
Ok, pero explícalo un poquito mejor.
como que, ¿cómo explicarte? Que va a ser demasiado para la gente recibiendo la palabra.
Ok, tú casi está ahí. Vamos a ver si el hombre joven en Puerto Rico puede explicar.
Okay. When you come into the faith,
Spanish.
you must start slow.
Spanish.
Cuando uno entra en la fe, pues uno tiene que entrar
En la
como
fe,
todo el mundo.
Mala mía.
En
En la fe.
en la verdad. En la verdad. Sí, tiene que empezar como todo el mundo chiquitito a lo que you start building up. Because if you start from the si uno empieza no te oigo.
Dije que explica todo en español.
You hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Cuando uno I can hear you now. Cuando uno empieza en la verdad, pues uno como todo el mundo, tiene que empezar de bajito, ¿entiendes? Uno no puede empezar, como te digo, dándole un libro completo y poder entenderlo. Él empieza con la leche, dándole leche, que es poquito a lo que pueda comer carne o vianda después.
Ok, vamos a empezar. Ok. Vamos a ver si el hombre joven en la República puede explicar esa parte. Yo sé que le entró ahora. Yo voy a leer el 1 de Corintios 3:1 para que el hermano, el hombre joven en la República me puede, es más, a darme una explicación de esta. Dice el 1 de Corintios 3:1, de manera que yo, hermanos, no pude hablarlo como espirituales, sino como a carnales, como a niños en Cristo. Versículo 2. Yo di de beber leche y no vianda, porque aún no eres capaz, ni sois capaces todavía. You want to give it a shot in la República? He might have a delay, so I might have to skip him.
Capitán, me gustaría, pero sí, me gustaría, pero que no sé en verdad.
Okay, no problem. Put your mic on mute, Bo. All right. Let me see. So what?
Kanaron Khan, Yahweh Shem Yashab Rakata.
Yahweh Shem Yashab. Siempre todo el mundo cuando entra a la clase saluden, ¿ok? Esa es la idea. Esa fue la idea que le envié el saludo para que cuando nos vemos y cuando nos despedimos, saludemos, ¿ok?
Carbon Khan.
Eso es para todo. Y intenten, por más que entrar a la clase a tiempo, ¿ok? En la escuela del hombre blanco, si el condenado diablo te dice a las 7, están ahí puntual. ¿Ok?
Kanaron Khan, sir.
So, hazlo aún mejor para el Señor. All right. So, vamos a intentar contigo, esto. Cuando te dice en el 1 de Corintios 3:2, odi a beber leche y no vianda porque aún no eres capaces, ni sois capaces todavía.
Okay. Está diciendo más o menos que necesitan cosas simples primero antes de tocar temas como más difíciles de entender.
Ok. ¿Qué cosas fáciles de entender? ¿Qué cosas?
¿Qué cosas son fáciles de entender?
Yeah.
Los mandamientos.
And that's
Los
it.
mandamientos, los mandamientos que le dan yo diría cómo hacer los mandamientos. Que
Okay.
si te dicen a ti, por ejemplo,
All right. All right, so vamos a hacer esto. Yo lo voy a dar una mejor forma, que más rápido, puntual, para la respuesta. Cuando cualquier condenado cristiano viene a decir aquello y lo otro, cuando que comparas como bebé bebiendo leche, desglosando escrituras que son tan fáciles de entender. Le voy a dar un ejemplo. Éxodo 15:3 dice: el Señor es varón de guerra, el Señor es su nombre. Eso es fácil de entender, ¿verdad? Un bebé puede entender eso. ¿Qué más? Cuando Job dice que mi piel es ennegrecido, fácil de entender. Ese es Job 30:30. Fácil de entender, ¿verdad? Ok, so, cosas así, de glosa así, Pablo tenía que enseñar a los hermanos, él igual que a ustedes cuando entraron, ¿verdad? Se supone que hay un protocolo que ustedes empiezan la escritura de leche, ¿ok? ¿Quién aquí no ha tomado o no han tenido las lecciones completas de la escritura de leche? You haven't gotten it in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico tampoco. Okay, all right. This is what we're gonna do starting Wednesday. Instead of giving you other stuff, I'm gonna go over all the parts of the milk scriptures for everybody to write down, because you're gonna need it. If you stay here and you're locking long, there's gonna come a time where you'll be given the privilege and opportunity to take an officer's test, all right? And on that test, you're going to have to answer certain questions. República Dominicana, what's going on? Oh, I see what he's doing. He's probably adjusting stuff.
Señor, escúchame, capitán. Es que no me di de cuenta, pero sí entendí ahora. Y lo primero, tú sabes, lo que tú estás explicando, que uno debe aprender es que uno de Efraín o Simeón.
Cosas así también, que no son los tribus, right? Tienes razón.
Right.
Cosas así.
Se puede.
Right. Cosas así, quién es Simeón, quién es Levi.
Ok. Entonces, también quería darle saludos, pero no lo bajé aquí. Entonces, préndelo ahí. Entonces, también quería darle saludos, pero no lo bajé. Escúchame que Pachola está confundiéndome. Que estoy practicando.
Hold on, la República. I know you got a serious delay. So it's okay. I'm gonna put your mic on mute because it's causing a lot of your delay. It's causing a lot of lag over here. So it's okay. I'm gonna put your mic on mute because it's causing a lot of your delay. All right, cool. All right, so de miércoles en adelante voy a empezar a darle escritura de leche. Magana más, como él va a hacer clases los miércoles. Magan, recuerda que empieza a darle clases de glose de leche, ¿ok? I think he's still dealing with file. Yeah. Anyway, yo voy a decir a la oficial Magana más que empieza a darle clases de la escritura de leche, ¿ok? So, esa es una de las escrituras que tú debes utilizar. Mira, en el versículo 3, para yo avanzar, ¿verdad? Dice, porque aún sois carnes, pues habiendo entrado vosotros celos contiendas y desensiones, no sois canales y andáis como hombres. 4, porque diciendo uno, ciertamente soy Pablo, y el otro, yo soy Apolos. Ok, él va en el 3 y 4, él va a otro tema, porque obviamente algo ocurrió aquí. Pero ya entiende que él está explicando que hay uno que aprender primero como un niño. Y la forma que uno aprende como un niño es literalmente así mismo. Un niño no sabe hablar, no sabe salam, ya va a shakata. ¿Me escucha, Honduras?
Shalom, sir. How about Hashem, y'all? Shah Barakatah.
Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Barakatam.
All right. All right. So como un bebé no sabe, ni te sabe hablar, ni te sabe comer solo, ni se sabe vestir, ni se sabe peinar el pelo, ni se sabe lavar ropa, ni bañarse, ni nada de eso. Ok. Tengo gente aquí en el TikTok. Let's go, Ray. Shalom to you. We are the 1 West 125th Street, with the Isupk, home of the truth. Also, asked by Vladimir, something. I don't know who's this. Sorry to kill your name. And also, Radah Yashala, shalom to you also. All right. So, ahora vamos a buscar algo. Bear with me. Right? Búscate Juan 3 y 3.
Carbon Khan.
Y después me puede buscar 1 de Pedro 1 y 23, ¿ok?
So like you said, tú dijiste el primer Juan.
No, Juan. El libro de Juan 3, empieza por el versículo 1, ¿ok?
Carbon Khan.
Right. Lo que pasó a los demás hermanos, él preguntó si yo le podía dar un par de escrituras sobre arrepentimiento, ¿ok?
San Juan 3 y 1, Juan.
Eso así.
Carbon Khan. San Juan 3, versículo 1. Había un hombre de los fariseos que se llamaba Nico.
Aguanta un momentito, la palabra es fariseos.
Oh, Salakia. Había un hombre de los fariseos que se llamaba Nicodemo, un principal entre los judíos.
Un principal entre los judíos, significando que era alguien que tenía rango o importancia entre los judíos que estaban allá en Israel, ¿ok? So, era alguien conocido, tenía rango, ¿ok? Tenía puesto, tenía posición entre Israel, ¿ok? Esta escritura es bien importante para entender esto, ¿verdad? Los cristianos, cuando ven más tarde Juan 3 y 16, ellos aplican la palabra mundo para todo el mundo en la planeta, porque más tarde en el precepto te dice quienes sea, right, que creen en su nombre será salvo. Yo parafrasando, pero nunca miran arriba del punto del empezar o del principio de la conversación. La conversación empezó con 2 hombres negros, uno nuestro rey Jesús y el otro Nicodemo. Los 2 eran morenos, ¿ok? Y obviamente los cristianos en su mentalidad, y es por culpa del opresor, ¿ok? no pueden visualizar que todas las personas que estamos leyendo ahora en Juan 3 y 1 son dos gente de color, dos hombres de color, dos morenos. Uno obviamente es de tribu de Judá, que es Cristo. Ahora, no sé si mencionó en alguna parte el tribu de Nicodemo, pero ya sabemos que como quiera, aunque no mencionó su tribu, ya sabemos que era un hombre de color. ¿Ok? Continúa.
Versículo 2. Este vino a Jesús de noche y le dijo.
Y aunque él era fariseo, es para que tú veas que aunque él era fariseo, un líder entre los fariseos, él como quiera iba a buscar consulta de nuestro rey, porque él sabía algo entre los fariseos que estaban mal, como los religiosos de hoy en día, entre nuestra gente, que están mal cuando enseña la escritura, pero él tenía más capacidad de entender que Cristo, sabía más que él. Continúa.
Y le dijo, Rabbi, sabemos que has venido de Dios como maestro.
Ajá, so ahí te muestra que él confesando que sabemos que es enviado de Dios como maestro. Continúa.
Porque nadie puede hacer estas señales que tú haces.
¿Verdad? Y como la escritura dice, Swap, si me puede conseguir donde dice, te lo voy a decir en inglés, pero me lo voy a leer en español. En inglés, y yo parafrasando. The Greeks seeketh a sign, but Israel seeketh the Greeks seeketh wisdom or knowledge, but Israel seeketh a sign. Okay. If you got it, let's read it just to make my point. Si la tiene, vamos léela para hacer mi punto aquí.
Just 1 second, sir.
Okay. So anyway, mientras tanto, empieza de versículo 2, de nuevo, del empezar, perdón.
Versículo 2. Este vino a Jesús de noche y le dijo, Rabbi, sabemos que has venido de Dios como maestro, porque nadie puede...
Sí.
Porque nadie puede hacer estas señales que tú haces si no está Dios con él.
Right. All right. La conseguiste, Swap.
Sir. Have yet to find it.
Let me see if I can help you real fast. I want a moment. Let me help this brother real fast. It's in the New Testament. En 1 Corintios 1 y 22. That's why I want you to go, Swap. I might have worded kind of wrong, pero es 1 Corintios 1, capítulo 1 y versículo 22.
Mm-hmm. Shall I read it?
Yeah, in Spanish.
El libro de 1 Corintios, capítulo 1, versículo 22.
Mm-hmm.
Porque los judíos piden señales.
Y eso es el problema con Israel, ¿no? Aguanta ahí. Y ese es el problema de nosotros, Israel. Porque en deber de pedir o buscar sabiduría, donde se consigue, obviamente en la Torah o en la Biblia, ¿verdad? Ahí están las leyes, ahí están las profecías, ahí está cultura, ahí está cómo gobernar un gobierno, ahí está cómo vivir y todo eso. Pero para nosotros, para hacer nuestro espíritu saber que alguien es real. Siempre buscamos un señal. ¿Okay? Y aún con eso, todavía no es suficiente, lamentablemente. El Deuteronomio 20, capítulo 28 completamente es un señal. Y tú crees que con probando la evidencia que simplemente en ese capítulo existe, que nuestra gente diga, ok, entiendo, sí, sabemos que no somos nosotros, porque sí, esto no está ocurriendo diariamente. ¿Tú crees que con ese señal basta? Negativo. Continúa.
Y los griegos buscan sabiduría.
Y los blancos buscan sabiduría. Ellos buscan toda información. Tú le dices al griego, mira, los verdaderos judíos son negros, latinos, indios nativos. Sí, ok. Entonces ellos van y empiezan a buscar. Y no me creen a mí, hay videos, escúchame bien, hay videos por YouTube, por Facebook, donde los mismos blancos de su propia boca dicen, sí, esta gente tiene razón, son Israel. Hey, Morgan, ¿te viste bien ahí? Turn on the camera, Morgan, ¿te viste bien ahí?
Yeah, he appeared for a moment there. It's lucky.
Yeah, Morgan, enciende esa cámara que te veía bien. Right, so, entonces, pues, como dije, no me creen a mí, hay evidencia en video donde los mismos blancos dicen, mira, no, si esta gente son. Es más, hay un video de un pastor blanco, ¿verdad? Hijo de los griegos, diciendo que los judíos son negros. ¿Ok? Pero los verdaderos judíos diciendo, mira, Cristo es negro, los latinos, los indios nativos, los morenos, somos Israel. ¿Qué va? ¿Qué va? You know, so, lamentablemente un señal necesita, y el señal va a ser en la forma de una tercera guerra mundial. El señal va a ser guerra entre razas aquí en los Estados Unidos y en donde quiera que estén, ¿verdad? La señal va a ser droga de nuevo, encarcelación de nuevo, ¿verdad? Y todos los hay en esta sociedad. Esa es la señal que vamos a recibir, porque no queremos escuchar ni queremos buscar sabiduría. All right. Ahora, you could drop that swap. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna read it to me if you can in English for the people on TikTok. All right. So tell me what you got.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 22.
Right. So 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 22. Go ahead.
For the Jews require a sign.
See, that's our problem. The Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, we being the real biblical and ethnical Hebrew Israelites, instead of going by what the Bible's already said about us and the conditions we were living for not obeying what the Most High said, for not living according to how He said to live, right? That's our problem. We seek a sign, like we done showed you in the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge since 1969, before anybody else spoke anything out there, right? In break-off camps, even in the Christian church, now trying to come with some of the stuff that we're saying as if they came up with it, right? But instead of us, paying attention to when these prophets in the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge told you about Deuteronomy 28, the 28th chapter, and broke it down to you as a sign, because the Lord even said that would be a sign, right? He gave us the blessing part, and He gave us the curses part. And you would think that us Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians would be like, damn, that's straight. That's right. You know what I'm saying? That's true what them brothers are saying. That's my life right there, written up in that precept. Yo, that's what's happening to my family right there in that precept. Yo, this is what happened to us as a group of people, written right there in that precept. You would think that we say, yo, that Bible is true. You would think that when the brothers prophesied World War I and World War II, and now World War III, since 1969, that's unfolding in front of our face, you would think that we take those signs as a warning from the Lord. You would think that. Our problem is that we stuck on stupid sometimes, and we so downtrodden that we don't want to look past the norms of what this society has taught us. We don't want to push forward past beyond that. We done gotten too comfortable in America. We done gotten too complacent with how things work in America. We don't put our jobs and our livelihoods first, instead of realizing, no, Not all this that we live in right now is going to last forever, because one day all this is coming to a close. And we sure right there. Like imagine if this was a door. Imagine if this was a door where our face is right here from World War III. It probably maybe even closer. Maybe that door starting to crack open. We never know. But the Lord could come tomorrow. Are we prepared for that? Are we ready for that? Huh? Let's keep it real. Are we? Go ahead.
La one.
My God, that camera look perfect now. You coming in HD. You know, I could almost give you a pound and dap you up. Coming so clear, but reality, all of us should be I'm saying like because we ain't ready. Like, are we ready? Let's keep it moving. Not ready. Christ can come after this class that we taught. Are we ready for that? None of us are. You know what I'm saying? But how we do get ready is going into these scriptures and preparing for it and learning these precepts. You know what I'm saying? And getting down and getting down for the Lord, getting on His side, and stop doing our own thing. You know what I'm saying? Even these other break-offs, they nothing more than Christians. All these other break-offs, and understand this is not an attack on somebody's person. I'm speaking in general. Okay. We should all stop to listen to Isupk and the Command General Hana, because listen, it's the only organization, that you can literally go on videotape and see Command General Hana prophesy something and actually come to pass. And then we come back later and show you the video evidence and the prophecy he made prior to the things that is happening. Like you can go back some years ago and hear when Commander General Hana talking about World War III, and then rewind. Fast forward to today. He even told you the players.
That's true.
He said Russia and China, right? But right now, Russia and China, they sided with each other. Right now, you don't.
That's right.
But go back some years ago when Commander General Hana said it.
Now
we live in it. I ain't see TDJ, Creflo Dollar, or anybody else that has said the same thing unless they watch one of his tapes. And not one of them groups out there can say, yeah, we prophesied that first. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Like, no, none of y'all prophesied the invasion by Russia of Saudi Arabia, but Commanding General Hana did. Right? You don't have to believe me. It's on tape. Now watch that come to pass. Watch that come to pass. And you know what? When that happens, like he said, then we all gonna be looking World War III. There's gonna be more. Right now, remember back in the days, and it's on tape. Even back in the 80s, it's on tape. When them head priests and the generals will come out to the streets and prophesy race war. Right now, how's America looking right now? Let's be honest. Like Captain Khan said, the ununited, or what he says, the divided states of America. How's it looking right now? Right? Yeah. Did y'all hear on Juneteenth, right? There was a lynching of a black man. Did you hear about that? Nobody heard about that. Come on now.
I heard about it, sir. Salaka, sir. I heard about it.
There was a lynching on Juneteenth of a black man.
That's right. There was.
Where's the news about it? Except the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge. You can check it out, blackwatch.news. We're the only ones going and giving you the news that ain't nobody saying. You know, these people, what they do is they'll publicize it, they'll publish it with the quickness they take it down. So that way nobody be like, yo, no, listen, lynchings are still happening right now. Right now. I'll give you another modern day proof, right? Because we look for a sign, right? Well, the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge, we've been prophesying this since 1969. We've been telling brothers back then, even to today, lynches ain't stopped. What do you think? Lynches have stopped? Well, let me give you a modern one. There was a brother in Akron, Ohio, who was chased by police. Now, they claim he shot at them, and they found a weapon in his car. But he got out the car and ran away from the cops. Not towards the cops, but away from the cops. And they shot 90 shots at him, out of which 60 hit him. 60,
White man's the
60.
devil, the Bible
¿verdad?
speaks of.
Desde Akron, Ohio, ¿verdad? Hubo how you say it, Magan? How you say a police chase in Spanish? Hold on, I'm gonna Google that thing. I keep forgetting. I need to go back to PR to get my Spanish right back up.
Persiguiendo
Hold on.
en una persecución policíaca.
Hay una persecución policial, right? Persecución policial, right?
Persecución policíaca.
Ajá. Una persecución policíaca, ¿verdad? En Akron, Ohio. El hermano, ¿verdad? Entonces, mira qué cosa. El tipo no tenía récord y en su trabajo era para Uber o para Lyft. Una de esas cosas, ¿verdad? So, supuestamente lo iban a parar por qué sé yo de tráfico y terminó en una persecución policial, lo cual supuestamente disparó a la policía, lo cual cuando él paró empezó a correr, no hacia la policía, sino para el lado opuesto. ¿Y qué hicieron? Lo dispararon. 90 tiros, lo cual 60 de ellas él recibió. Now, 60 shots to the body. Now, if that's not a modern day lynching. And did you know earlier this year, right here in Maryland, right there, close to Baltimore, in the city of Annapolis, which is, I believe, the capital of Maryland, they found I want to say she was in her 90s, a sister hanging from a tree. Supposedly, she committed suicide. A 90-year-old frail black woman supposedly was able to get up to a tree and hang herself. Come on now. So if you don't believe those signs, well, guess what? World War III is going to be right in our faces very soon. But anyway, let's get back to the point in John. Right? So entonces dice, vino a Jesús de noche y le dijo, Rabbi, sabemos que has venido de Dios como maestro, porque nadie puede hacer estas señales que tú haces si no está Dios con él. So, obviamente, cuando él vino como maestro, hey, Kets, something. What do you mean by oh man, back to English, fam. I know you want me to do it all in English. Just bear with me because this class I teach Latino America. That's why I go into Spanish. But you can still ask a question in the comments, and I'll answer it in English for you, right? So ya sabe que nuestro rey cuando vino enseñando no lo creyeron. Ni aún ellos sabían que venía un Mesías, pero a este moreno aquí, que viene del gueto, de Nazaret, you know, este tipo, tú eres Mesías, nada, no pudieron creer, excepto que él hizo esos señales. Continúa cuatro.
Carmen Khan, San Juan, chapter 3, versículo 3. Respondió Jesús y le dijo, de cierto, te digo que el que no naciera de nuevo no puede ver el reino de Dios.
Ok, respondió Jesús, le dijo, de cierto te digo que el que no naciere de nuevo no puede ver el reino de Dios. Obviamente Nicodemo no entendía. Continúa.
Carmen Khan, versículo 4. Nicodemo le dijo, ¿cómo puede un hombre nacer siendo viejo? Ajá. ¿Puede acaso entrar por segunda vez en el vientre de su madre y nacer?
Obviamente él está confundido que de nacer de nuevo, pero que nosotros tenemos que regresar así a un viejo entre el vientre de nuestra madre y nacer de nuevo. Continúa.
Carmen Khan, versículo 5. Respondió Jesús, de cierto, te digo que el que no naciera de agua y del Espíritu no puede entrar en el reino de Dios.
Continúa.
Versículo 6. Lo que el nacido de la carne, carne es.
Ajá.
Y lo que es nacido de espíritu, espíritu es.
Continúa.
Versículo 7. No te maravilles de que te dije, os es necesario nacer de nuevo.
Ajá.
Versículo 8.
Párate ahí. So, vamos a explicar, right? So, versículo 3. Respondió Jesús y le dijo, de cierto te digo, que el que no nace de nuevo no puede ver el reino de Dios, right? So, obviamente Nicodemo no entendía eso. ¿Qué se refiere a él de nacer de nuevo? 4 dice, Nicodemo le dijo, ¿cómo puede un hombre nacer siendo viejo? ¿Puede acaso entrar por segunda vez en el vientre de su madre y nacer? 5 dice, respondió Jesús, de cierto te digo, que el que no naciere de agua y del Espíritu no puede entrar entrar en el reino de Dios. So, Cristo le estaba enseñando una lección bien importante, porque sabía que muchos de los fariseos, al igual que muchos de Israel en el entonces, y como estamos en la época moderna, 2022, concuerdo al calendario del opresor, ¿verdad? Nosotros, si escuchamos algo así, basado en lo que enseñó a los cristianos, pues nos quedamos igual. Cuando Cristo dijo de nacer de nuevo, no significa es algo literal que obviamente ustedes ya saben, sino que hay que arrepentirse. Arrepentirse significa que darse de cuenta que yo necesito cambiar mi vida. Yo fumo, yo huelo perico, soy homosexual, soy lesbiana, que si estoy en la ganga, siempre estoy preso, ¿verdad? Siempre estoy robando, estoy con prostitutas, estoy vendiendo prostitutas, vendiendo drogas, etcétera, etcétera, etcétera. ¿Eh? So, ahora hay que cambiar de nuevo. Nacer de nuevo significa básicamente dejar todo lo que yo dije, tus pecados, y vivir conforme a la ley. Es la única forma que uno puede nacer de nuevo. Recuerda que él dijo en esta parte, en el 5, de cierto, que el que naciere de agua, el que no naciere de agua y del Espíritu, no puede entrar al reino de Dios. 6, lo que es nacido de carne, carne es. Y lo que es nacido del Espíritu, Espíritu es. En otra palabra, ese precepto fácil significa cuando nosotros nacemos carne y hueso, ¿verdad? Por medio del sumai, por medio del sexo, como nació Cristo, por medio del sexo, como nació todos nosotros, por medio del sexo, de carne. Ahora, nacer del Espíritu es de nuevo cambiar tu vida, como ustedes hicieron. Todos ustedes que están en clase son recién nacidos. Recién nacido sí significa tú empiezas como un hombre joven, right? O bíblicamente como un bebé. Cuando tú llegas soldado, ya tú eres un poquito más mayor, right? Cuando tú llegas al oficial de 50, pues ya tú eres un adulto joven, right? Un oficial de 50. Y mientras pasan los años, tú te envejeces en la verdad. Ok, no es literal, es espiritual, ¿me entiende? Hey, this person resembling asking me, did I pay tithes to General Yohana? Did you? Don't ask me if I paid. Did you pay tithes? That's a wicked man right there. Asking me if I paid tithes. Did you pay tithes to Commander General Yohana? All right, let's continue. All right, so you get the gist of that, Quatazar? I don't pay serpents. Well, don't come in my life then. If we're serpents, then why are you in class here? Maybe you should go back to the one that you're following and pay him tithes. All right. Anyway, I know this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave the dude right there. Anyway, somebody said something in the chat. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the souls. All right. So when we're young men, we don't post precepts. What we do is we ask about them. All right. Whereas you become an officer then. All right. I want y'all to know this. To be a babe means whatever the garbage you learn out in the world, leave it out there, out in the world. Here you become newborns. Newborn means you don't know nothing. You haven't even taken baby steps yet. You're a young man. You haven't even taken baby steps yet. When you're a young man, you're at this stage and sucking your thumb. You get it? And vomiting on yourself and pooping on yourself. You get it? Like a newborn. But eventually, you'll go from this to now A, B, C, D. You'll start to learn. All right? This is a general statement. No personal attack. It's a general statement. No emotion in this. All right? I had to go through that. I came in here like, yo, this and this and that. They tell me shut the hell up and learn for real. And you know what I did? I learned for real. I shut the hell up and I learned. And it got me right. Through the grace and the mercy of the Most High in Christ. It got me right. You know what I'm saying? I was that smart enough to shut my damn mouth because they were right. Scripture said, be more ready to what? Listen than to what? Than to speak. And another part of the scripture said, to come to listen and less, I'm paraphrasing, less lip service. All right?
Claro, Seleucus, if I could.
Go ahead, Magan.
Eso mismo fue lo que yo tuve que hacer. Lo que yo tuve que hacer fue exactamente quedarme callado en la boca porque yo no sé nada. Cuando llegó la verdad, yo no sé absolutamente nada. Yo tuve que quedarme callado en la boca y aprender a escuchar y hacer las preguntas. Eso es todo. No hay otra manera de bregar en la verdad.
And give him a hand. Y darle una mano porque Magan Amán, ¿verdad? Empezó como un hombre joven. Ahora él es un ungido, right, del Señor para enseñar en Puerto Rico, ¿verdad? Para enseñar no solamente en Puerto Rico, en Latinoamérica completa, ¿ok? Y él graduó en la Academia Hebrea. You know what I'm saying? So he's for sure not a Christian. You don't want to test Magan's skill set. You know what I mean? And guess what? All of you gonna be there too. You know what I mean? So anyway, con eso, because of the time frame, yo quería hablar sobre un indio nativo que nadie conoce, un indio nativo de Norteamérica, ¿verdad? Algunos quizás saben de este hermano, ¿verdad? Pero este hermano, déjame ponerle la imagen en la pantalla, ¿verdad? Now, on the TikTok, if you got Isupk, don't sweat that dude. That's just one of them cats that just seeking attention. That's all, because he ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I mean? Straight up and down, the dude just ain't got nothing else. He doesn't have the cojones or the balls to be a real man to do what you do. You know what I mean? To do what every last one of you brothers are doing right now.
And
I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes when you love a brother, you just got to tell them the truth. And that's given if this is a brother. I don't know. But anyway, let's get to I'm gonna put it el imagen de este hermano, ¿verdad? Okay. Este hermano se llamaba Henry Berry Lowry. Okay. ¿Y quién era Henry Lowry? ¿Verdad? Pues vamos a tocar ese tema, ¿verdad? Y yo creo que este hermano, por caso de cuestión de aprender un poco de historia, deben hacer un documentario de este hermano o quizá una película de él o algo. Let me see this one. Okay, so Henry Lowry, desconocido después de el año 1872, forajido de los Estados Unidos, un nativo americano del tribu Lumbee, líder de la ganga Lowry en Carolina del Norte durante y después de la Guerra Civil estadounidense. Muchos habitantes de Carolina del Norte lo recuerdan como una figura de Robin Hood. Lowry fue descrito por George Alfred Townsend, corresponsal de Nueva York del periódico New York Herald a fines del siglo XIX, como uno de esos notables espíritus ejecutivos que surgen de vez en cuando en una comunidad sin más ventajas que las que otorga la naturaleza. Okay, so let me close that out. Entonces vamos a leer un poco de okay. Vamos a hablar un poco de su ganga. So, la pandilla Lowry, el gobierno confederal usó el servicio militar obligatorio para obligar a muchos de los lugareños a trabajar en la construcción de varios fuertes alrededor del área del río Cape Fear o Cabo Miedo por muy poco paga. Varios primos de Lowry excluidos del servicio militar porque eran hombres libres de color habían sido reclutados para ayudar a construir Fort Fisher. Lowry, el ganga Lowry o pandilla Lowry se inició originalmente para ayudar a quienes se escondían del servicio militar obligatorio. Otros residentes requirieron a recortarse ocultos de los pantanos de la región para evitar ser detenidos de la Guardia Nacional confederada y obligados a trabajar por salario bajo. A medida de la guerra civil se acercaba a su fin, la pandilla Lowry se alineó con varios soldados de la Unión que habían escapado de los campos de prisioneros de la Confederación y llevaron a cabo una guerra de guerras contra la Confederación. El 21 de diciembre de 1864, James P. Barnes, vecino de Allen Lowry, lo acusó de robar cerdos. El hijo de Lowry, Henry, mató a Barnes. En enero del año 1865, Henry Lowry también mató a James Bentley Harris, un oficial de reclutamiento supuestamente por maltratar a las mujeres de la familia Lowry. En marzo de 1865, la Guardia Nacional registró la casa de su padre, Allen Lowry, y encontró armas de fuego que las personas libres de color se le había prohibido poseer desde el año 1831 y la rebelión de Nat Turner. La Guardia Nacional convocó un tribunal improvisado, condenó a Allen Lowry y a su hijo William y los ejecutó en marzo del 1865. Según los informes, Henry observó desde los arbustos. A partir de entonces, el joven Henry llegó a ser considerado como el nuevo líder de la banda de Lowry. Aunque la banda de Lowry estaba compuesta supuestamente por nativos americanos, entre sus principales lugartenientes se encontraban el hombre negro George Applewhite y el hombre joven blanco Zachariah McLaughlin. La pandilla Lowry cometió muchos robos con condiciones atípicas. Las víctimas de los robos fueron tratadas con respeto, consideradas las circunstancias, y las víctimas podrían potencialmente evitar ser robados si pudieran demostrar que no pueden pagarlo. La pandilla de Larry a menudo devolvía ciertos artículos robados, como caballos y carretas, cuando ya no lo necesitaba. La pandilla a veces era conocido por compartir sus ganancias con los pobres, como distribuir maíz a los hambrientos. All right. Entonces, pues vamos a leer la parte de la guerra, Lauri. Guerra de Lauri. Henry Lauri dirigió una pandilla para cometer una serie de robos y asesinatos contra la clase alta que continuaron hasta el año 1872. Los intentos de capturar a los pandilleros se conocieron como la Guerra de Lauri. La pandilla de Lauri estaba formada por Henry Lauri, su hermano Stephanie Thomas, dos primos Calvin y Henderson Osedin, dos de sus cuñados, dos esclavos fugitivos, un hombre blanco y otros dos hombres parentescos desconocidos. La pandilla de Lauri continuó sus acciones hacia la reconstrucción. El gobierno republicano William Woods Olden proscribió a Lauri y sus hombres en 1869 y ofreció una recompensa de $12,000 right, por su captura, vivo o muerto. Lauri respondió con más asesinatos por venganza. El 7 de diciembre en el año 1865 se casó con Rhonda Strong. Inmediatamente después de la boda, en la presencia de cientos de invitados a la boda, Lauri fue arrestado por ex miembros de la Guardia Nacional Confederada, convirtiendo en milicia del condado y bajo el cargo de asesinar a James Bond. Pudo escapar limando a través de los barrotes con un archivo que le fue pasado de contrabando por miembros de su pandilla. El gobierno en ese momento, el gobernador de ese momento, Jonathan Worth, colocó una recompensa de $300 vivo o muerto por su cabeza, pero la pandilla evadió el cautivero durante otros 3 años, a pesar de los muchos esfuerzos realizados por la milicia para detenerlo. Algunos eventos notables incluyen defenderse en un grupo de busca mientras usa un bote para cubrirse y eludir a las tropas del ejército de los Estados Unidos que fueron enviadas a Carolina del Norte específicamente para capturarlo. En el año 1871, Francis Marion Wishart se convirtió en el coronel de la Guardia de Policía y mantuvo como rehenes en prisión a las esposas de la banda de Lauri. Henry Berry Lauri y otros miembros de la banda enviaron al coronel una carta con un ultimátum, ya sea liberación de sus esposas de Lauri Gang o los tiempos más sangrientos estarán aquí como nunca antes. La vida de todos los hombres estará en peligro. Sus esposas fueron liberadas abruptamente. La banda de Lauri se opuso a la estructura de poder demócrata conservadora de la posguerra, que trabajó para reafirmar su dominio político y supremacía blanca. La pandilla de Lauri robó y mató a numerosas personas del establecimiento. Debido a esto, se ganaron la simpatía de la población no blanca del condado de Robeson. Las autoridades no pudieron detener a la pandilla de Lauri en gran parte debido a este apoyo. El Partido Demócrata Conservadora fue reemplazado por un partido republicano más moderado, con las similitudes ideológicas con muchas partidarios de Lauri. En febrero de 1872, poco después de una redada en que robó más de
28,000.
¿Ah?
Salakia, 28,000 era.
Dólares de la caja fuerte de alguacil local. Henry Berry Lowry desapareció. El coronel Wishart calificó los informes de su muerte como todo un engaño. La recompensa de $12,000 por su vida nunca se cobró. Se afirma que se desapareció que se disparó accidentalmente mientras limpiaba su escopeta de 2 cañones. Como ocurre con muchos héroes populares, se discutió la muerte de Lowry. Según los informes, fue visto en un funeral varios años después. Sin su liderazgo, todos los miembros de la pandilla, excepto dos, fueron posteriormente capturados o asesinados. El reverendo Patrick Lowry, como delegado de la Convención Estatal Republicana en el año 1872, anunció que su hermano Henry estaba muerto. Sin embargo, la esposa de Henry, Rhonda, insistió hasta la muerte en el año 1909 en que él había escapado, aunque se volvió a casar unos años después de su desaparición. Henry Lowry tuvo 3 hijos, Sally Ann, Henry Delaney y Nilian. Okay. Pues sucedió otra cosa que no leímos ahí, ¿verdad? Otra cosa fue que de esa esposa que capturaron, ¿verdad? Recuerda, él tenía, aparte de esa esposa, él tenía otras esposas y a esa la mataron y eso es lo que empezó esa guerra. Esa parte no lo desglosaron, no sé por qué, pero él tenía esposa que lo mataron, entonces por vengarse pues empezó a matar gente. Pero lo que este hermano vivió en ese tiempo, ¿verdad? Y esa información se puede conseguir en el libro Black Indians, ¿verdad? Sobre la ganga Lowry. Si tienes ese libro Black Indians, puedes conseguir más información sobre esa. ¿Qué horas son? ¿Right? Ahora, si tú eres dominicano, y no sé si los puertorriqueños saben de un hermano que lo llamaban Enriquillo. ¿Conoces la historia de él?
No.
Era un cacique en la Hispaniola, que a él lo llamaban Enriquillo. Y algo similar en el cuento de entre él y Henry Lowry. Y los dos nombres, Enrique y Henry, el mismo nombre, uno en inglés, uno en español. Y hay un cuento similar. Ok, y esto ustedes pueden hacer una búsqueda sobre él, ¿verdad? Déjame ver si puedo conseguir algo de él. Let me see something. Ok, so conseguí algo sobre él. Vamos a ver si lo puedo cambiar en español. In Spanish. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. So déjame poner la imagen de Enriquillo. En la pantalla. Déjame cerrar un par de estos tabs. Entonces, allá en la República no enseña nada de Enriquillo, hombre joven en la República. Este era él. Esta es una estatua ahí en la República Dominicana de Enriquillo. ¿Ok? Era un indio taíno, yo creo que cacique en la Hispaniola. ¿Ok? So, vamos a leer sobre él. Ok. Él fue conocido como Enriquillo Bejo, ¿verdad? Lago Jaraguá, cacicazo de Jaragua, 27 de septiembre de 1535, por allá por Sabana Buey, llano de Bani, más conocido como Enriquillo, fue un noble taíno que se alzó a rebelión contra las autoridades españolas en la isla española, convirtiéndose en cacique de Bauruco y atrás aceptar la autoridad española los sería de Boya. Fue uno de los indios encomendados en el repartimiento de Alburquerque bajo el cargo de Francisco Valenzuela en San Juan de la Maguana. Tras que el hijo del encomendero tratara de abusar de su esposa, se quejó ante el teniente de gobernador de la villa, Pedro de Vadillo, quien a vez de apoyarle lo encarceló y tras ser liberado trató de conseguir fructuosamiento justicial en la audiencia y Cancillería Real de Santo Domingo. En el año 1519 iniciara su alzamiento en la sierra de Baruco, que perduriera hasta el 1530. Se pudo prolongar tanto tiempo porque durante años apenas causado inquietud. Durante aquellos años siguió con sus costumbres españolas y siguiendo rezando del Padre Nuestro y el Ave María. Okay, anyway. En 1533 puso un fin de su rebelión tras aceptar la paz de los españoles, siendo reconocido como la corona española por la corona española en el título de don. Ostentado solo por la nobleza, desde entonces fue llamado como Don Enrique. All right. Su historia fue idealizada por el romanticismo decimónico de la novela Enriquillo de Manuel de Jesús Galván, donde se le recreó un origen ficticio y sucedió. Okay, I'm just go down. Nacimiento y juventud. Nació a la orilla del lago Jaragual, actualmente lago Enriquillo. Fue educado en un convento por frailes de la orden de franciscana y mostró desde un inicio que sería católico, apolóstico, romano y perseveraría a la fe. Sabía leer, escribir y hablar muy bien la lengua española. Tiempo después, el cacique Enrique Veo recibiría el sacramento de matrimonio junto a la mestiza Mencía de Guevara, hija del español el nombre de Guevara y de Ana de Guevara, hija de la cacique Anacaona. Fue encomendado. Well, we read that part. Okay. Anyway, let me see something. Anyway, ustedes pueden leer sobre él más tarde, pero el punto de Enriquillo, right, o Don Enrique, fue que con él también la esposa de él, ¿cómo se llamaba él? Durante la encomendada, este hombre que se llamaba por Francisco Valenzuela, ¿verdad? Vino, ultrajó y violó a la esposa de Enriquillo. Entonces, pues obviamente ya siendo oprimido, ya no podía más y empezó esa rebelión. ¿Okay? Ustedes pueden leer sobre Enriquillo los detalles de eso, pero va a notar que es un cuento similar de lo que leímos sobre Henry Lowry. ¿Okay? En estos momentos hay preguntas.
Sí, yo tengo una pregunta, Juan. ¿Me escucha?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sí, mi pregunta sería, bueno, estoy asustado que nunca he oído de mi hermano, el Lowry. Estoy asustado porque parece que era un gran héroe y parece que la noticia como lo cubrió y bueno, yo miro que eso pasaba mucho con los nativos, los Gadites. Hay muchos héroes y no hablan de ellos, solo que.
No, they don't. They don't. ¿Sabes por qué? No hablan de cosas así, evitando how you say inspiration, right?
Inspiraciones.
Inspiraciones, para nosotros, porque teniendo motivación e inspiración de un hombre así, va a movernos o nuestro espíritu a hacer algo diferente de lo normal, ¿verdad? Por ejemplo, imagínate si empieza a enseñar que los gobernadores en el tiempo o en la época negra, los gobernadores de Europa eran gente de color. Eso nunca se enseñó aquí, ¿verdad? Hasta quien dice el tiempo moderno. Ahora la gente, o especialmente aquellos que están en la verdad, ya saben que, por ejemplo, William Shakespeare era moreno, que si ¿quién más? Mozart era moreno, el rey Aragón era moreno de España, King James de la Biblia era moreno, King Edward Longshanks, ¿verdad? Pues era un hombre negro, aunque te enseña una imagen blanco, pero cuando tú lees los detalles de su apariencia, dice que era un hombre bien oscuro y alto. Go ahead, Swap.
Me imagino que por eso que ellos nunca quieren dejar que Haití suba como de estatus. Siempre lo mantienen para abajo porque si uno ve que ellos están progresando, los otros van a preguntarse, por ven acá, vamos a ser igual o mejor.
Entonces, mira, este sistema, ¿verdad? Este sistema prefiere inspirarnos con malicia. Esta sociedad inspira a los morenos y a los latinos, a los indios nativos, con imágenes de prostitución, de ganga, ¿verdad? Promocionan esa vida como hoy en día. Promoción de hoy en día que la vida alternativa, ¿sí? ¿Verdad? La vida de arcoíris, ¿right? Es una promoción fuerte hoy en día. Right? So, esa clase de inspiración, sí, eso sí, pero inspirar a los jóvenes, mira, no, hay héroes entre nosotros que tú no conoces. Tú no conoces de King James, de Mozart, no digo Beethoven, porque Beethoven, buscando yo, averigüé que este tipo no era de nosotros. Sí, su madre era una hermana, pero su padre era un alemán. El padre de él era alemán. Ok. Anyway.
Solo que other one. También hay un libro que, bueno, lo aprendí, el libro por la verdad de Isupk, From Babylon to Timbuktu. Y ese libro habla bastante del descubrimiento de España, que les descubrieron nuestra gente también, pero que se llamaban Moors. Right. Am I correct?
Yeah. Okay. So let me give you some understanding. Right. The term Moors is not a race of people. A lot of black people are thinking that Moors is talking about a race. It's not a race of people. The term Moors, the term Moor or Moors, right? It's a label. And anybody that had dark skin, anybody that was brown skin, they would call them a Moor, right? There was Africans who are obviously brown skin, right, or dark, right? You had Israelites, and you also had Arabs at the time were darker skinned people. You know what I mean? So anybody that was dark skinned, they would call Moors. The rulers of Europe in those days, in the Dark Ages, all were descendants of Israelites. Okay. King Aragon. You go Nature Knows No Color. He give you a whole breakdown. Today, look up this family called the Habsburgs, right? The Habsburgs They were very rich, powerful family, right? And of course, they're Caucasian today. But go look at the old images of the original Habsburg. They were black, like much darker than your brother in much darker than Magun. The officer Magun, much darker than him. You had Casanova, right? I know all of us heard of the name Casanova. This. When I grew up, you know the expression, the Latin lover?
Yeah.
Casanova. Where you think they got it from? They didn't get it from Ricky Martin, who, by the way, is a devil. Is not one of us. All right?
I didn't realize that he was a heathen.
Yeah, he's a devil.
Es la que se facu.
Go ahead.
Hasta Santa Claus.
Oh yeah.
Hasta Santa Claus.
The character. You're right, Mugga. The character of what is now Santa Claus. Some of you do know, some of you don't know. But they get it out of a brother who was known as Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas actually was a black man. All right. I think next week I should be able to, Lord allow, do a whole class showing you a bunch of Russian icons to show you what I'm saying. I just got to upload it to my desktop. But you can go on the TikTok, Isupk Puerto Rico, or just look on the TikTok Taino Warpath. I should have some things there, right? Sometimes I'll even post it up on TikTok Live when I start putting stuff up. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do that for next week. I'm gonna just teach a class, just show everybody some Russian icons, and show you the different images that you normally won't get to see of black royalty in Europe. I'm gonna give you another name. Who's seen the movie Braveheart with Mel Gibson? You seen the movie Braveheart? Who else saw it? Braveheart, right? Anybody else? Right? Yeah, good. William Wallace was not a white man, and nor was what's the name? The Bruce
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, no. The character William Wallace played was a William Wallace, but he was not white. Nor was what's the guy's name? Hold on, let me get the other name. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. Brave. Robert the Bruce, the real Robert the Bruce, right? These were Scottish people from Scotland, right? Now there's a book that you can go look up called I think it's called The Kings of Scotland, which King James was the King of Scotland of the sixth. Excuse me, King James the Sixth of Scotland, right? Was a black man. Okay, before he became King James the First of England, he was the king already of Scotland. All right, he was of the lineage of the Plantagenet, who was a descendant of King Alfeston, which was an Anglo-Saxon, who also was black. I know a lot of you brothers that might be listening to Dominican Republic and Honduras and be like, what? Niggas ruled Europe? Yes. Yes. Israelites rule Europe. And the reason why I'm bringing that out is because imagine if they taught that in our history books. Hey, right now, in La República Dominicana, you don't know nothing about Enriquillo because they don't want brothers to be inspired. I'm going to finish this class off in English, right, if y'all don't mind. They don't want brothers to be inspired by heroic deeds. I mean, of course, these brothers were not in the truth, but considering what they were going through, right? Considering what they was going through, then you got to look at them as something to inspiration. Now, imagine had they been in the truth, they would have done more. You know what I mean? They would have done a whole lot more because they ain't no better inspiration from the black man that's in heaven, the Lord, and his son, Jesus Christ. Ain't no better inspiration than the prophets in the Bible. But apart from that, you know, you imagine if you're telling black and Latinos, yo, we greatest people, and I got the proof to show it to you. You know, the American public system They don't do that. You know what I mean?
They keep you blinded.
Of course, it's on purpose. Keep us blind, keep us down, keep us oppressed, high on drugs, right? And that alternative lifestyle, you see what it's doing, or giving you sisters the freedom to choose to kill their babies, and then make it seem like murder. In this case, it's not a bad thing. It's not bad to go ahead and kill a life that isn't really walking, and you don't have to change his diaper. When the sister don't understand, as soon as the babies come out of daddy doing sex, them kids, you are alive in your father's nutsack, and it's a race between you and millions of your brothers and sisters. The first one to get to the A is the winner, and when you're born the winner. But they wouldn't tell us that. Like, we don't understand, when you're born, right? You were the winner. Because imagine coming out of your dad, you had to fight, you had to race against millions of your brothers and sisters to make it to your mom's age. But even in that level, they don't even teach us, well, you're a winner. You're a winner. You were a winner. You won. So that's going to be a subject for next week. I'm going to just go over some Russian icons. So be ready for that. I'm gonna give you a whole slew of them icons. All right, stuff that I collected throughout the years. Go ahead. So what?
Sir, do you have a digital copy of that book, Russian Icons?
Yeah, I do. Let me see if I maybe got some. Maybe if I got it on some images right now on my desktop. Let me see some. Well, this is what I can do real quick. All right. Let me show you something. For years, we've been taught. I'm going to show it to you right here. Let me go here real fast. So for years, we've been taught this guy right here, right, is Mozart. This is just a little tidbit, right? And everywhere you see this picture, automatically, and our brains will be like, okay, that's Mozart. That's Mozart, right? But we would never, because they don't want you to know this, How dare you even try to find out that you have family, you have real rich family history, right? How dare you want to find that out? All right. But you'll never learn about this right here. I don't want to give everything all day today, but this is what Mozart looked like. You can see it's a painting of him. The real Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, or Mozart Amadeus, I think the Wolfgang. Anyway, yeah, that's what he looked like. He didn't look like that other image. And just go research him up. You'll find out. You know what I'm saying? Let me leave that there. I'm gonna give y'all more than that. I'm gonna show y'all what William Shakespeare looked like. Now, one thing that's kind of hard to find is the image of William Wallace, because when we found out that this royalty was black, they did. Of course, the devil, he moved quick to try to conceal a lot of the other stuff. Like right now, If you go look at, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff the Taino Indians did against the Spanish that we don't even know about. You know what I mean? There's probably a lot of things. Listen, here's another reality. What information do we have on the Siboney Indian? Like, everybody stay quiet because you won't find none. You know? And the Siboney Indians were in the Hispaniola. Right? That was the tribe of Simeon. Of course, you had a good portion of Ephraim living in La Hispaniola también, but we dwelt throughout all the islands. Now all of in the islands were all Taín. You had also Calingo. Calingo would be Manasseh, Guatarabey also. You know? The Calingo was also known as the Carib Indian or Indio Caribeño.
It's like I said, if I could.
I said Calingo, I mean Caliningo. Go ahead, who said that?
Like I said. Ahora mismo, Rusia sabe que Yahweh Mashiach es negro.
That's right. And matter of fact, hold on. You're right. Mira, you go on YouTube right now. Once we're done with class, isupk.com, and you can type in Russell woman admits that Jesus Christ was black. As a matter of fact, let me see if I pull it up for y'all real quick. Hold on. Wait. I'm gonna show you the clip, but I want to share the link with y'all. Okay. I wonder if they took it down though. If not, I'll get the link. I know we had it up on the YouTube. They might have taken it down. Damn it. Let me see something. Bear with me. Sorry about that. I'll tell you what. What I'm gonna do for the next time I'm in the history class, I'll have the link. But it's definitely on the YouTube. All right. Now, how I know this to be true, because I was there. I was there when the Russian woman was saying, I was at camp at that particular camp. I'm gonna tell you, she was wearing like this green jumpsuit or something like that, and she looking at us teach, and she just come and tells Captain Mashak, that is not Jesus. What is this? That's not Jesus. And we looking at her, and Captain Mashak, believe, answers and says, you're right. You need to tell your people. And I said, well, this ain't Jesus. Jesus is a black man. She come out and say just like that. So go ahead.
I was reading this book called Tears of the Indies, and it
Say
said
that again?
that Tears of the Indies.
Jews?
I put out Tears.
Tears in the Indies. Okay, go ahead.
Tears of the Indies.
Go ahead.
So I found that DR has had 5 like kingdoms
at the time, right, of the Spanish.
Con.
Right.
Before they
actually, it was more than 5. It was about 30. In Puerto Rico, it was about 20. You didn't know that, right? Well, what about 30? The thing was that just like in Puerto Rico, they had a chief. They had a chief. There was the main chief, and then you had other chiefs, and then you had the regular citizenship. But in these 30, some of the provinces were larger than others. You know, some groups were made of maybe 10 people, while others were made of 1,000. But they had about 30 of them, according to the accounts of the Spaniards. And probably after a while, it was decimated and then left with 5. But in Puerto Rico, it was the same way. You know what I mean? And the chief at the time, one of the known main chiefs was Aguayuana, okay, during the time of Ponce de Leon. All right. I forgot the name of the main chief that was in Hispaniola. Okay. And the only reason why I say about 30, because remember, you got to include Haiti with it. Go ahead.
I was reading about big king that was called Guarionex. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, he had the kingdom of Macua.
Yeah. I know there was a region in Cibao also. There was ruled by a certain chief or cacique. But you know, there's a whole list of things that I'm gonna go over in my lecture. I'm gonna talk about how we was living, but in my lecture, I know I'm gonna get a lot of you brothers who are of Taino descent, maybe, you know, not the ones in here because y'all know better, but the ones that are listening, y'all gonna get real pissed off at what I'm about to say because I'm gonna shit on our gods, especially what we call our shaman, which we get, or bohique, or how they say it in Haiti, bohique, right? Right? Because one thing we have to understand, also for the indigenous in the Caribbean, right? We had our shaman. He was the medicine man, but he was also the ones that speak to the semis, right? Why he never told us about the Spaniard though? That's what I want to know. Why do the semis never told our boiques? Yeah, mira, the Spaniards, these people that look like this, they come in and destroy everything that we know. You know, the same thing in Honduras. You know, I'm pretty sure the Mayans, they had their own shamans and priests and all that. You know, none of them told them about the white man. Go ahead,
Salakia, I have a question about about the subject. Why didn't our brothers on the island like know about lo gringo? Like even before they was in Egypt and all that, like why didn't they know who they were?
Okay, in Egypt we did know about Esau, but remember over here, what happens is we started to live like the heathens. And remember in the scripture, it said that our heritage would discontinue.
Oh, right? Okay.
So losing your heritage means you lost your culture. Now there were certain things that we still obtained. Like we knew that in the end we would rule again. God knew it, and in the Caribbean we knew it too. All right. But as far as certain things, them things were lost because as Israelites, we just didn't give a fuck. Excuse my language. After a while, with the disposition of time, you know, because we were doing our thing. And I'm pretty sure in the beginning of all that, there might have been some of us that have been like, nah, we came here to serve the Most High, you know. But of course, we brought them customs here with us. You know what I'm saying? As I'm digging into our gods, and then the lecture, I'm going to bring them out, and I'm going to show you in my lecture some of the things about the gods that we serve and some of the things, you know, that I don't want to say much of it, but I'm going to just show you some of the things of our gods. Like one of our gods, I hear you better through YouTube. No sweat. I know you on that. Doing your thing. He made me lose my train of thought. I'm gonna give you one. There was a guy by the name of Yokahu. My God know who I'm talking about, right? Yokahu, right? It almost sounds like Yaiqua, right? But his name was Yokahu, and one of the things he was the god of. Él era el dios de que. Let me tell you what he was the god of. I'm not gonna speculate. This is according to the historians, right? Because they don't want to ask the people, and the reply was what I'm about to read to you right now. All right. So one of them, Yukahu, not Yokahu, Yukahu, right? I'm gonna put the name in the chat. So if y'all want to look him up, Yukahu, right? So according to the researchers, right, they say that this God, this semi that we deitize, right? He was also known as Yuka Huguama, Bagua, Maurokoti, Yukau, Yokau, Yokahu, or Yukiyu, right? Was a masculine spirit of fertility in Taino mythology. What the hell is this? All right? He was the supreme deity or semi of the pre-Columbian Taino people, and his mother's name was Atawe. So now he's a god, he's a deity that had a mother. Right? Let me tell you some other things about this cat, right? He was also known, now get ready for this, right? Yukahu was the god of te va a gustar esto, Magan. Yukahu era el dios or el semi, the semi of Yuka. The literal food Yuka. Yeah.
Eso fue lo que me llevó a la mente rápido con el nombre de
Yo, I'm laughing because I'm like, what the hell we were smoking? We had a god of Yuka. And I know, man, there's a lot of Boricuas that might see this video. They're going to be, listen, I already had a brother told me he was going to smack me in my face because I brought that up. Because he got mad. Oh, you ain't Boricua. He told me like that. You ain't Boricua. How you going to be talking about our forefathers like that? Yeah, right. I'm going to talk about them because I'm looking at the obvious. The Boricas didn't tell us about the white man. Like, why would I want to? And you know what pisses me off? And I want to show you something, right? What pisses me off is that right now in La República, Magan, tell me if I'm wrong. In La República, in La República, tell me if I'm wrong. En La República, como en Puerto Rico, hay gente that look like the brother in the young man right now in La República. Look like him trying to go tribal again to the ancient customs. Am I right or am I wrong, Magan?
Kind of, so you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Sawap.
Yeah, these are the same people that I keep fighting with on TikTok.
There you go, right?
They find it offensive.
Right.
They find it offensive that like anything I say.
Of course, because we rather serve than semis. Now here's the flip side to that. Check this out. Because we want to serve them semis right now, right? 2022, and we're trying to revive the ancient culture. We're trying to get back to nature, right? Back then, the white man came in and destroyed all that, right? The Lord let it happen to punish his people. The Taino people are God's chosen people. Like, we gotta understand that. You know what I'm saying? The Tainos, they had different names for certain Tainos, but the Kalinango are God's chosen people. The Guanahatawe are God's chosen people. The Sibune are God's chosen people. Just like the Mayans are God's chosen people. Just like the Mexican tribes, God's chosen people. But in particular, our people in La República Dominicana, in Puerto Rico, we want to go back to that culture. So just like in the past, when the white man came and conquered, Guess what's happening right now in Puerto Rico? And we don't even see the writing on the wall. We don't even see the writing on the wall. Because brothers want to return back to that. In addition to that, all the drug selling, all the drug using, all the pimping and prostituting that's happening in Puerto Rico, all the getting over another brother in Puerto Rico, all the arguments, all the Christianity, in addition to us trying to return back to an ancient way of life and culture, right? And serving these gods, like we're doing the same thing. Serving the ancient God is no different than serving the white Jesus. It's the same, right? Well, guess what? Because we're returning back to these things and pushing the old evil and a new evil all together. When I say new, I mean the evil that's modern day. You know what I'm saying? Now the white man is going back to Puerto Rico, recolonizing again, buying up all the sea properties that they could. Am I right or am I wrong, my gun? If it's coastal, and they're doing it not just there, they're doing it right now. And tell me if I'm wrong, but I know I'm right. The young man in La República can tell me. Right now, Esau is going into the Dominican Republic and buying all the coastal lands to set up his businesses and his communities. And in Honduras, where the young man live on that, because he live off the coast of the mainland, is a tourist area. They're going there buying up everything as well. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to turn back to the realness. And then brothers like me, like Magun, like Sawab, we get up on TikTok or we get up on these platforms and start telling what the Lord don't want us to do and what we want to do. Our people get mad at us and want to come up to us and smack us and all that. My man said, if you ever in New York, I see you and smack you. I'm talking about come up ahead and smack me. Because, you want to tell it, your man that tells another man going to smack you, you better do it. You're going to find out we're not Christians. You're going to find out quick, fast, and hurry. We ain't going to do, you're going to smack me here. I'm going to say, we'll do it to this side too. That's not happening. That's not happening. Christ didn't teach that. Go ahead, Honduras.
Con, sir, what you bring up is heavy because here on the island, the white man, he come and buy all the beach side, and he built his house, he built his research and everything. And what happened that the people here on the island, the islanders, they have the land, but they don't know the research to develop the land.
Right.
And it's all systematic by the white man because the bank doesn't give them funds to develop the land. So the pressure of paying tax and all that, so they're compelled to sell it. And when they want to sell it, they just throw away the money. You understand? So that's what's going on. And they keep poor.
And I'm gonna tell you that in addition to that, it don't help that we have a corrupt government. Because right now, like in Honduras, La República Dominicana, Puerto Rico, right? No matter where we at, our own leadership. Remember, our own leadership is. I'm gonna use Puerto Rico for example. Is comprised mainly of Spanish descent people. Like most of the governors you see coming out of Puerto Rico, trace their lineage. They know they're Spaniards. You know what I mean? And occasionally they might put a sister up there. Now I don't know if that last female governor, I don't know her lineage, but I know we had the first female governor back in the 90s, Sila Marie Calderón, right? You could clearly see she was a Spaniard. Okay. Our problem is as Ricans. Hold on, I'm gonna hold your peace for a second. Our problem was as Ephraim, as Ricans particularly, right? We hear anybody talk like us, like with me, it never sit well with me, at least with me. It never sit well with me that if you're a foreigner and sound like me, that makes you mean. That never sit well with me. I know Magun is my brother. I know you brothers that are here are my brothers. You know what I'm saying? That I know for sure. But if you look Chinese or Arab or Spaniard, then you can clearly see, hey, soy boricua como tú. Hey, if a Dominican or a Mexican that you find on the island, or some of the Benjamins, they tell me they're boricua, I'll accept that because in my mind, I know they're Israelites, so that's cool with me. But if I clearly see you from the other side of the planet, you ain't got no stake in this house. How they say you don't have no ends in mi casa, right? That's how I'm gonna look at it, you know. And so, but our people, we so destroyed that all you gotta do is just sound like one of us. And oh, you family. Like even in New York, among Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, they've been there since forever. If you hang with us, we accept you. You can be white. We'll have more beef with the Moreno. But if you white, Chinese, East Indian, and I know because that was me at once upon a time, and you was in the hood, right? And you hang with us, you was family to us. We treated you right. Meanwhile, we was beefing with the Morenos when we should have been treated them right. You know what I mean? And in my era, at least on my block, at least more blacks and Puerto Ricans, we were closer. You know, we were close in those days. Something happened in the 90s that went out the window. I don't know, and I know I could be wrong, but in New York, I could be wrong. Black people and Dominicans get along a little bit more together, right? Am I right or am I wrong? I'm asking Quatazar.
Oh, Salaki,
I know y'all from New York too. Like black people, the Morenos, they get more along with y'all than with us, right? Because they see more, because what it is with the Morenos and Dominicans, that they see more of a blackness versus if they see like the young man in Puerto Rico or somebody like me, they'll even get along with Magan only because he's darker. But if they see the young man in Dominican Republic or me, there might be an issue. When I grew up in the Bronx at the time, there wasn't that beef. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was some beef, but for the most part, I remember the days in New York when black people would hear Puerto Ricans playing their instrument. Even the young man in Puerto Rico, he know it because he's from New York too. Back in the days when the Puerto Ricans, when we would come out in rumbear, I was a kid, but I would see family rumbear, papá sacando la conga, right? La guitarra. Some brothers would play, porque había gente that had with la guitarra, el cuatro, right? And then you have people who sacan la conga, and play the music. Morenos would come with their own instruments and start jamming with us, and everything be like, yo, this is beautiful. I remember the summer nights, long summer nights. It was just black and Puerto Ricans, and there I was too young, but I'm pretty sure there was some Dominicans around too, and some other Latinos around too. They would just start getting together and jamming with us until Isupk would come and break it up, because they would rather us be selling weed than us just coming together. Right. And that could never happen in New York at the time. You know, the Bronx. Y'all got to do some research. The history of the Bronx, Fort Apache. The Bronx was a terrible. I mean, not to say that Brooklyn, Bedford-Stuyvesant, and all the other areas. There was a East New York, I think, and Brownsville, if I'm not mistaken. Those of y'all that from Brooklyn know better than me, but I know the Bronx because I'm from there. Right? At the time, the Bronx was a terrible place with Ricans and with black people and the cops. You know, and still to this day, the beef still go on. Still to this day. I come from the stop and frisk era. And guess what? That never ended. Even off the books they say they discontinued it, that really never ended. Not in New York. You know what I mean?
It's like I said, if I could. Acá en Puerto Rico la cosa es inclusive más dramática, porque muchos israelitas de Puerto Rico de piel clara se identifican con su opresor, pero después viene el opresor acá y los maltrata y viene con el espíritu de que yo soy tu amo y ahora ahí hay un problema y ellos dicen, pero espérate, ¿qué pasa? You know, yo creía que tú, sabes que tú, hey, we like.
Porque se dejan llevar.
No, nosotros somos el máster aquí, venimos a enseñarles a ustedes y ahora por eso, por el maltrato que el americano le ha dado al boricua de piel clara, ahora no quieren a los americanos. Ahora tienen problemas con los americanos, pero tuvieron que los americanos tratarlos mal y ellos sentirse discriminados.
Hey, and that's you, the reason, la razón por qué eso está sucediendo, because since we want statehood, right? We wanted, because we lived in Chicago, New York. Like we sold this story, we didn't realize, even though we was in Chicago, even though we was in New York, even though we was here, we was there, Massachusetts, Connecticut, now in Orlando, in Kissimmee, and places like that, right? Once upon a time, DC was full of Puerto Ricans. You know, we thought that over here was better, and to a certain extent, just making that money. And he's saying East River Park, oh snap! Come on, man, you're taking me back, man. Anyway, we thinking because we're making some money that we would not find in Puerto Rico, that it was a better life, but we never stopped to think about the conditions that we were living in. We like to be in the ghetto in America was better than being in Puerto Rico. But myself, I lived in Puerto Rico, and yeah, the only thing oppressive that I felt was that jobs were hard to find. They weren't paying as much as over here, but it felt more freedom to me. I'm gonna keep it real. It felt more free. The reason why is because I didn't have to worry about no oppressor like that. You know, I didn't have to constantly see a gringo in my face. You know what I mean? And the only time I saw a gringo was the ones that were running the country, the governors and all that. But I ain't see them. I'm gonna tell you though, racism is big in Puerto Rico, like ridiculously big. Them Catholic priests, them Catholic priests who are Spaniard descent, they don't like Boricuas. I know, and I'm like this. I'm a light-skinned Ephraimite, and I have first-hand experience me working in el pueblo this was in Santurce. All right, I was working in Santurce. Where? Yeah, Santurce, right. I was working in Santurce, like it's metro area, you know what I'm saying? They have buildings and all that. And there was a Spaniard who owned a property there, and he had hired some Simeonites to work lay down tiles for his business, right? The brother Lon, big up to him. I don't know if he's alive. Lon Simeonite worked in the Puerto de Manatí, gave me work, helped me move to Rio Piedra, so that way he could keep giving me work. And Lon looked out for me, so I worked with him. And the Spaniard that owned that did not like me, not one bit. And I felt it. I could just feel it. He just did not like me. And the crazy thing was, when I was in Manatí working with Lon, the Catholic priest would talk down to me like if I was crap. And one day I just checked him in front of everybody. Like he found out something different with me. He just didn't like me before. Or when I checked him, he didn't like me after that. Like when he would see me, he literally would avoid me because he thought I was just a docile Puerto Rican. So what? You raise your hand?
Wow.
Okay, so listen, I'm gonna wrap this up so that way you can get the Commanding General Honors class. Just call out the salute. Don't forget to pay your tithes. All right, pay the tithes is more important, but also keep that camp fund coming. Y'all can send it to me by Saturday, right? The camp fund. Go ahead, young man. I already know you paid your tithes and you camp from the brother in the Dominican Republic. You straight on that front. I know the brother's been consistent with his. If you're not paying your tithes, stop fronting. Start paying your goddamn tithes, man. Straight up and down. It ain't because I said so. It's the Most High requires of it. I gotta pay tithes. I'm gonna tell you. I pay my tithes even though it hurt my pockets, but I do it. I'm gonna tell you. Somehow, some way, the Lord know and make it a way for me to survive. And I thank Him for that because that's all you need. You know what I mean? And that's all you need. You hold back. Now you find yourself like the way we were saying in New York. You find yourself asked out. That's you. That's not the Lord. You asked for that. Okay, go ahead, young man in La República. Go ahead. You were about to say something?
Yes, sir. De lo que tú estabas hablando un poco de, yo me acuerdo yo era más joven, que la guerra entre los morenos y los puertorriqueños siempre una cosa increíble. Por lo menos para mí, yo muy joven, y era, tú sabes, soy de hoy, pero es la tribu de Puerto Rico. Y yo peleaba con 2 o 3 morenos, ¿sabes? Recuerdo los matres, como yo estaba tanto en la calle, y yo tenía 7 y 8 años de edad, tú sabes, estoy hablando, y entonces después de todo eso fue que pero siempre como me identificaba con ellos, y a la misma vez siempre me encontraba como que no le tenía esa pasión, o ¿sabes? Como que esa paciencia, y siempre peleando en la calle, y era con los morenos nada más. Era muy poco puertorriqueño que yo pude conocer, y eso era así.
I'm gonna tell you, mira, in Nueva York, this is crazy what I'm about to say. In New York, I used to get along more with Morenos than with my own tribe, for some odd reason. Now in Connecticut, here's the thing: the Boricua in New York, they're not like Boricuas in Connecticut. Because the Boricuas in Connecticut would help out another Boricua. That's off the break. You know, I don't know if that changed, but when I lived there, Boricua, like coming new, fresh into the hood with them. Hey, where you from? You Boricua? Okay, blah, blah, blah. They niggas helped me find a job without me knowing them. Gave me furniture for my place without that. And I found it strange. I was looking at these cats like, yeah, what's going on here? What they want in return. And they just did it just because only because I was Boricua. I was like, where? It's like that out here? No mean monkey from in New York. Even all the Boricuas would look at me like nigga, this, like, give me that look, you know what I mean? But as you grow older, you understand that what we went through in those days and times, you know, we grew up rough. A lot of people, even to this day, I just be talking normal to you. Just be talking normal to you. And I'll be having people come up, man, why you gotta be so rough with the way you talk? And I'll be like, nah, I ain't rough the way I talk, man. It's just how I am. And I sometimes gotta hold myself back and be like, yo, they don't understand it. And I have to be like, yo, man, I apologize. It's just us in New York. To us, this is normal how we talk. You know what I mean? We don't mean nothing by it. You know what I'm saying? And then the brother be like, nah, I know y'all niggas from New York are like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, it's just the way, you know, just how we grew up. You know, I don't know if it's like that still. But old heads like me, like the young man in Puerto Rico, like the young man in the Dominican Republic, we from New York too. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It was just the environment we grew up in. You know what I mean? And then you go to Puerto Rico and niggas over there want to test you. Unfortunately, and you know that Boricua and stuff like that. But hey, in the truth, you learn to let all that go because you see the bigger picture. We just destroyed as a people, you know. I had beef with some Dominicans. I'm gonna be real. I didn't like Dominicans back in those days until the truth, man. Now, y'all my brothers, and I start to realize, oh shit, we more closer than what I knew.
Right.
Like, literally more of a family than what I knew. I didn't know. Now I do. Right? And now because of hey, I love the fact that Morenos are my brothers, Dominicans, Mexicans, the Hondurans, you know what I'm saying, the Central American, South Americans, that we one family. I love the fact that we one people. You know, that you can't convince me these days, nothing else. And with that, I'm going to let Morgana Month go because I want y'all to get in Command General Hunters, the radio show, right? With that, Morgana, simplemente saludo, right?
Claro, cáncer. Imagine, que significa de pie. Imagine Shabbat.
That's everybody. Everybody stand. Everybody stand and salute.
Imagine.
Hold on, let me make sure everybody's standing up. Imagine Shabbat, right? You called it?
Can, sir.
Go ahead. Remember, everybody, when he starts saluting, todo el mundo with him. Do it again, Magan. Hold on, do it again. Saludo de nuevo.
Can, sir.
Just Barak. Do it like that, and everybody follow.
Barak.
Yahweh Shem Shabbat. Mira, they learning and salud. That's what's up. Give him a hand for that, man. That's what's up. Yeah. All right, let's see if we do it for the sisters now. Let's go.
Las hermanas de pie. Un saludo a las hermanas. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Yatimata. Y vamos a hacer despedido.
All right. So mañana recuerde el oficial Yahweh Yahala enseña clase de nuevo. Es importante que tomen esa clase de nuevo de fraternidad o hermandad. Es a brotherhood class, right? Mañana Yahweh Yahala todos los martes de 7 a 9, okay? All right, with the time and broadcast, don't forget to fill